Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to FCC Sports here for tonight's Thursday evening tilt between the White Bear Lake Bears and the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders. I am your commentator, Earnhardt Michael Jaworski, and it is a brisk Thursday evening here on the White Bear Lake North Campus for this season finale between the number 10 3A ranked White Bear Lake Bears and the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders here in this Suburban East Conference matchup. Last game of the season before we head into section playoffs, so both teams looking to go into the postseason on a high note, going to the postseason with some momentum rolling your way. The White Bear Lake Bears come into tonight 10-3-2, 7-1 in the Suburban East. And for the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders, they come in 6-8-1, 3-5 in the Suburban East. White Bear Lake currently sitting second in the conference standings, 1 point behind the Woodbury Royals, who, my guess, play elsewhere tonight. But between these two teams, I'm expecting this one to be fast-paced, high-scoring, as for each of these teams is just a little bit more on the line. Take a quick look at the team profile. White Bear Lake almost scoring 4 goals a game and just allowing 1. 5-0 with teams. White Bear Lake is 5-0 against teams with a record below 500, and they've won 8 of their last 9. So these Bears are red hot coming into tonight's matchup. And for Cretin-Derham Hall, they scored just about 3 goals a game. They allowed just about 2. And they are 1-6 versus teams with a record above 500. So for the Raiders, they might have to punch above their weight class here tonight. And we'll take a quick look at players to watch here. And for White Bear Lake, it'll be number 28, Jenna Malloy. In 13 games played, she has 15 goals and 7 assists. She's committed to South Dakota State University, where she'll play collegiately. Bears will look to her tonight to lead the charge. South Dakota State, home of the Jackrabbits, and key player to watch for Cretin-Derham Hall will be number 15, Annie Mulcahy. She's got in 11 games played, 16 goals and 8 assists. She's committed to Illinois State University. So for McCullough, she's lethal as well when she's got the ball on her foot. Bears will have to be wary of her. And for the Bears, Autumn Mackey, 12 games played, putting up an .855 save percentage and allowing less than a goal per game, which is key for Mackey. And she's really been the cornerstone of this Bears defense, as she is the last line of defense here. And so far this season, she's put up good numbers, looking to close out the regular season here. On the side of Cretin-Derham, it'll be Elena Crochenbell. In 10 games played, she puts up .839 save percentage, allowing just about a goal and a half per game. Like I mentioned earlier, for the entirety of this Cretin-Derham Hall team, they're going to need to punch above their weight class in this one. They want to keep it close, which I think they can. It's just the matter of crossing all your T's, dotting all your I's. Head coach Dave Ashley, John Deersikig in his 12th season with White Bear Lake. John Derkeising in his 12th season, looking to cap off another solid regular season with his Bears. And we're just a moments away from kickoff here. Bears will start off. And a head rush down the field, White Bear Lake. Working the far side, will roll out quickly. Looks like we do have ball chasers here, so things will be moving fluidly throughout the evening. Bears look to throw in on the far side. Gabby Hofield, head for the Bears. She'll kick it back up top. Bears slow and methodical, working the perimeter. Running out of room was the Bears. Trying to get a number on that. Now for Croshenbelt. Looking to tee one out. Gets to about the 30. The Bears will collect. Like to make their way down the pitch. This one will roll out of play, result in the Bears throwing. Looking to keep the pace rolling. Be another throw from Giada Marino. So hit the side official will be Raider ball. Throw in from Kelly Hannon. Hannon put some arm on this one. Oh, roll past her teammate and out. Both teams trying to get their footing here in the first 3 minutes of play. Becca Smith had it for a moment for the Bears. Raiders in a bit of a rush. If the play whistle dead will be a free kick for White Bear Lake. Marion Peterson will keep things rolling for White Bear. Smith lost it for a moment. Could be a chance for Cretin to take possession, keep things rolling. Attacking from all sides are the Bears. Cretin-Derham really struggled to get possession for them, get a chance to breathe, get their feet beneath them. They'll work it back and forth at the midfield. Chance for Cretin, off to the races. But it'll be Autumn Mackey to collect. Gonna shut things down before anything else can happen. High booming ball collected midfield by Becca Smith. Smith. Go back to the wing. Here on the near side, losing it was Olivia Farrell. Cretin, they've crept down and through an attacking end. I'm trying to work around with Catherine Novak. She just ran out of room. Raiders will take possession. Will be throwing from Margaret Korick. Korick still on this one. The Bears ever so patient, waiting for the ball to come to them. Good stretch pass up midfield. Hofield. Good transition play. Bears now trying to turn on the Jets. Racing down after that one looks to be Cami Bachmeyer. Waiting on the throw-in. Got to Wallach. We'll roll out once more. Throwing it again. Hofield's there. Again, just kind of trapped into the corner. Bears stuck to the perimeter. Raiders doing a good job of keeping their opponent outside of the dangerous areas. But really what we've seen from the Bears so far, they haven't really looked to get into the inside the hash marks, we'll say, here on the pitch. Stretch pass upfield, intended for Bella Haldemeyer for Cretin-Derham. Gonna roll away from her. Bears continue with possession. Smith worked it upfield. Bears have a chance here off to the rush. Should be Hofield. Good cut inside. Into the box. Shot on, deflected wide. Off the boot of Elizabeth Wallach. Was dangerous enough for Crochenbull. Had the move on that one. Now it will be a corner for White Bear Lake. Bears. Corner is low. Not gonna have a good chance on that one. Bears' second chance effort. Not gonna work through. Swanson will just boot one into the box. Crochenbull will collect. Bears continue the pressure. Putting another shot on Kronschnabel. Just let that one roll behind the net. And it will be a corner once again for the Bears. We'll go off the boot of the junior Becca Smith. Smith lines up. This one looks a lot better. Got some height on it. Raiders do a good job heading it away. Gets back to Smith. It's a back inside. And will be a goal kick. Or it looks to be a free kick for the Raiders. Number 11, and Bryn McCabe. McCabe got some good distance on that one, but the Bears not afraid to go after the ball, where it seems the Raiders kind of wait for it to come to them. And it's just that bit of urgency from White Bear Lake is allowing them to take possession here. It was about 9 minutes into the first half. Bears have to throw in once more here. Gets this one to go through. Bofield had a chance at it. Will be a free kick here for Cretin-Derham. Jane Strangler at the 35. She'll let one rip. Has some distance on it. Rolls about 10 feet wide, and Mackey will just cover, make sure that one gets nowhere near her near post. Now the Bears will kick out. Marion Peterson lets one fly, and that'll go off the head of a Bear player. Raiders throw in through the leg of Novak. Bears work this one forward. Both teams now just trying to establish possession. But each time the other gets the ball, they're swarmed. Hofield, that's a good rush. But for Cretin-Derham, she'll boot it away, immediately collected by Smith. For the Bears, now the Raiders look to stretch one downfield. But again, just too much on it. And for Mackey, she's happy just to roll this one forward. Bears look to use the space they're given. Farrell passes back to Boulis. Pass intercepted. Chance for the Raiders here. Trying to walk this one into the box. Looked to be Kokurik. Wasn't going to be able to get it. Will be a corner here for Cretin-Derham. Novak, she'll line up. Bears players lined up, Raider players lined up high. Get some motion to go through. Bit of chaos, will roll out to the far side. Collecting that one down was Hannon. Caught between a rock and a hard place is Halderman. The Bears will take possession. As Halderman was just alone by herself in the corner. Really no room to run. See a substitution made. Bears work this one along the far side. A couple of passes allow the Raiders to close in a bit more. Seems to be 2 steps forward, 1 step back for the Bears. It's a good pass intercept on the back line for Cretin. Smith launches one upfield. Running after it is Farrell. She's got room to work with. Got to get closed out by the Raiders. And this one will result in a corner. As Farrell had to turn on the Jets if you wanted to get to it. Smith lines up for her third corner. Distance is good, height is there. The Raiders get the first touch on it. This one out to the wing for Smith. Smith upfield, gonna be a chance here. And this waved off side by the official. And for Cretin-Derham, she's going to get away with one here. It was a good heads-up pass by White Bear Lake. See Smith here, good feed. And I guess just barely offside was Hofield. And for White Bear Lake, that's what you want. Just got to time it a little bit better. Cretin looking a bit better as this game rolls on. But just a couple of offensive miscues send possession the other way. White Bear Lake sprinting downfield. Hofield's going to get disrupted. She'll have to throw in. Or it'll be Nevaeh McCorkley. McCorkley fakes the throw and up to Smith. Smith in the midfield tries to get something inside. diving after that one was Kronschnabel. Now for Kronschnabel, she'll line up once more. Try to start something for her Raider squad. Pass was picked off by Thompson. That's about Corkle working it back. Raiders are going to move this one forward. The backline for the Bears was trying to bait in the Raiders, but biting too far forward. Thompson, good cut outside. Trying to get the pass up to Becca Smith, just not there. Another forward from Halderman. Booting this one up forward, and that's going to roll out. Was a chance there for Cretin. But again, just too much on it. Maybe pressure, I don't want to say getting to them. But I know you want to get the ball to the other end of the pitch as quick as possible. But sometimes I think you got to go slow to go fast, is the racing term often used. And I think for Cretin, they need to adopt that mentality a little bit here, as we're about 20 minutes deep into this first half. Scoreless here on the field on the north campus of White Bear Lake. Bears with 2 or 3 solid chances yet to find the back of the net. Almost feels inevitable that they'll get one to break through, as this team averages just about 4 goals a game. Yet to get their first.
I will say the little
one thrown in from Hannon. Will roll out of play. Cretin will take over once more. Bears will disrupt the throw-in. Look to go the other way. Bit of physical play out there just outside the Bear box. Thompson will look to work it upfield. White Bear always does a good job of getting it back to their defensive line before they work it upfield. Like a short way to reset. This time Bears forced to get it back to Autumn Mackey. Now the Raiders will throw in again. Kokorik. Pass over her intended Raider. And the whistle will blow. Bear player with a quick shoe tie. Good distance on that one. That's going to go off the top of the head of Wallach. But just as quickly as it was in the Bears half, it's back in it. Both teams really trying to find stretch passes. Not working out for either side. Now the Bears, McCorkle. And throw this one in. Bears get a sub in. The back defensive line, Raiders creep in. But good passing by White Bear to get out to the midfield. Bit of touch and go pass just ahead. Madeline Thompson. Now for the Raiders. Got to get possession back once more. Another stretch pass over all the players on the pitch. And now the goaltender in, Elena Kronschnabel. Will let one fly. Bit of a traffic jam at midfield. Good steal from Wallach for the Bears. Gets possession back in the orange side. Corkle hounded by Raider players. Bears work around it. Again, happy to go to their back line to get room to work. Bears doing a good job with possession, not trying to force anything. Will be a throw in from McCorkle. Quickly gets it out. Raiders shut it down almost immediately. McCorkle again. It's the third time for McCorkle. Third time the jump from McCorkle, no. Raiders do a good job disrupting these throw-in attempts. And whistle will blow. It'll be a free kick for Cretin-Derham Hall. 17 minutes left in this first half. Strangler. Lines one up, lets this one fly. Great distance on this one. But the Bears, who had the numbers on the backside, come away with it. McCorkle gets the throw in to Oakler. Oakler, she gets the ball taken away from her. Raiders doing a good job closing in. Attempt after attempt. That one gonna go, I believe, just through the uprights. And for a quick flurry, Raiders had some half chances. They'll come up empty-handed. It'll be a corner for Cretin-Derham Hall. Catherine Novak, the senior forward, looks to get something going for her Raiders. Corner was good. Going to bounce back to Novak. Will put a twisting shot on. The Bears do a good job staying in front of it. And the land rush back out to midfield. Bears now work this one up. McCorkle. Lauren Bengtson got a boot on it for Cretin. The Bears happy to get one going. And offsides again. White Bear Lake struggling to find their timing here late in the season, as the Raiders making it difficult for White Bear Lake. Bears, another opportunity to work this one forward. Bachmeyer doing a good job threading the needle through a couple players and the official. Bears have to go backwards to go forwards. Thompson will get it taken away from her. So it will be a throw in here for the Bears here on the near side. Good job working that inside from Thompson. Smith, here's a chance here. White Bear Lake goes in offsides again. Bears can't believe it. And once again, Cretin-Derham Hall gonna escape with one here. Still 0-0. Another stoppage. This will be a free kick for the Raiders. Raiders. T1 up. This has good distance. Deflected up front. Follow-up attempt into massive players covered up by Mackey. There were a lot of bodies in front. Mackey had to stay on her toes, and she does. Raiders will throw in. 12.5 minutes remain here in the first half. Bears walking a fine line on the perimeter, off to the races. Hofield. Hofield still with that'll roll out. Gonna stay Bears possession. It'll be McCorkle to throw in. Gets this to Smith. The Bears do a good job utilizing the options they have as they keep their eyes upfield looking for seams in the Raider defensive scheme. Smith in the midfield. Turn the cross, this one good deflection, getting a boot up for the Raiders. Another throw in from McCorkle, not a lot of options. So they give this one to the back line once again. Bears are really heavy on the right side of the pitch here, on the far side. See a substitution come in. Will be number 7, Cecilia Larson, a sophomore for Cretin-Derham. Fresh legs, always so key in a game of soccer. Can be the difference maker. We'll see what the Raiders can do here. Pass to the inside will roll out. Couldn't hook it inside enough. As will be a corner for Cretin-Derham. Strangler on the corner. Adjusting the ball to where she wants it. Strangler. Letting one fly in the interior. Mackey lost it for a moment. Rolls out to the side, still in the box. Bears get it away. Raiders let another one fly. Mackey collects the bounce. And it was a mayhem in front of Mackey. Does a good job getting that save away. Take a quick look at the past couple of games for White Bear Lake. On Tuesday, a 4-3 win over Stillwater, 7-0 versus Forest Lake, and a 2-1 loss against the Woodbury Royals, who are the top team in the Suburban East standings here in the Suburban East Conference. Royals ever so strong in their soccer programs over the past couple of years. Raiders look to throw, and that's going to go nowhere. Raiders look to let one fly once more. To a Bear player, Hofield. Breakout pass from the Raiders goes right to Smith. And that one's going to roll out. Raider player took a tumble. So it'll be Bryn McCabe to throw in. Or for the free kick, I should say. Pardon me. McCabe, good distance to this one. Raiders can't read the bounce, will allow the Bears to collect. Bears race back to this one. Good cross inside, chip shot, what a save from Cronshamble, just threw a hand up. My goodness, that ball was labeled for the top corner. But the left-handed shutdown gonna keep us with a pair of goose eggs on the board. And a great chip shot from Madeline Thompson. I mean, you can't place that shot any better. But Cronshamble gonna slam the door in her face. Another chance here for the Bears. And Cronshamble comes up big. Cronshamble's had a quiet past 20 minutes or so, but really has had to put some work in the past 90 seconds. My goodness. And for Cretin-Derham Hall, you can't allow a player like Madeline Thompson just to creep into your own box left unaccounted for. As for Thompson, she does have 2 goals on the year. Almost made it 3. As we'll see Giada Marino step back in for White Bear. Giada will throw this in. Good closeout by Cretin-Derham. Could be a chance the other way if they can take possession. Going to roll out with just about 5 minutes to play here in the first half. Will be a free kick here. That's a good boot. The Raiders happy just to tap that one out of play. Don't want to let the Bears start with a head of steam. Good header into the midfield. Gonna get kicked out. Corkle to throw in. Gets it back to Smith. Smith trying to work this around the Raider attack. Getting the foot on it was Kelly Hannon. Quick throw in. Bears again, Hannon getting in the way. Trying to get this one to Wallach, who just did not have room to work with. McCorkle trying to get that one to Smith. Will bounce off a couple of Raiders. Hold on. Still a bit dangerous here. Not a lot of room. Gonna work. Let that one roll out. Bryn McCabe looking like a basketball player trying to box out to the attack. Letting that rebound roll out. Will be Schnabel, excuse me. Lets this one fly, but again, the Bears really just playing downhill. Are able to make the pitch as seen that way. Smith working this one outside to Thompson. Thompson trapped in the corner. Thompson to line up a throw. Letting this one fly, gonna bounce off a Raider into the corner, will go out the side. Be another throw in here for Thompson. This one a bit more towards the end line. Getting body checked was Katie Kohler. Thompson gonna go through the uprights. That was a good kick. Looking like something out of a rugby try. But bit high. Schnabel want this one fly. Final 3 minutes to play here in the first half. Between the White Barrel Lake Bears and the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders girls soccer matchup here on SCC Sports. That's a good pass inside, deflected, follow-up attempt wide. And the Bears just able to light a wick in an instant. Gonna get turned down in this one. Cape happy to boot this one down. And I think for the Raiders, excuse me, you're starting to play with fire a bit, as you can't allow the Bears to keep knocking on the door like this. Or at some point that door's gonna get busted down. Kick from about 23 yards out, gonna go well wide. So final 100 seconds will play down here. Raiders a bit of pep in their step here in the last handful of minutes. Bears looking for a chance. Pass disrupted. The Raiders happy just to play keep away here.
1 minute remaining in the half.
Final minute remaining here in the half. Both teams not afraid to get physical here. Taking one away was Hofield. Still with it, Hofield. Takes two Raiders to take it away. Hofield takes a tumble. Raiders fine-tune the pass, but right to a White Bear Lake player. Things starting to open up a little bit here. Raiders looking for a call. They're not going to get it. It's a good body. Hofield, chant offsides again. Hofield livid. She can't believe it.
10 seconds remaining in the half.
Official not having it. And that'll be the end of the first half here. And it looks to be Hofield getting a yellow. White Barrel Lake head coach trying to plead her case. But a yellow was given. The horn will sound. This is the end of the first half between the Raiders and the Bears. Like I said at the top of the show, it's going to be hotly contested, and it has been just that. As we're tied 0-0 going into the break here on SEC Sports. We'll throw it to a break, and when we come back, we'll have highlights from the first half. We'll be right back.
Email from school about the incident today.
Scary.
Tell me about it. Did you have any idea that was going on?
None. I mean, you saw Derek at the game last night, too. Did you have a clue?
No, but you know, teachers like me, parents, we don't always know as much as you guys do. Kids hear first about what's going on with other kids.
Half the time, it's rumors.
It can be hard to tell sometimes, but if you're ever concerned about a friend who's having trouble with alcohol, prescription drugs, bullying, violence, anything, you need to tell an adult. Mom or me, a teacher, coach, school counselor, someone you know and trust.
Dad, no kid is gonna tell an adult about that kind of stuff.
I get it, but if we don't know, we can't help. Speaking up about a problem, that's what helping a friend is all about.
Women are bad with money.
That's what the world's been saying for centuries. But now,
We've got something to say.
Save it. Save the old-fashioned advice, the empty excuses. It's all worthless, unlike us.
To our fellow females, it is time to save ourselves by saving our money.
Contributing to our futures. Investing in our independence.
Until we're no longer 80%
80% more likely than men to live in poverty in retirement.
So again, we say to that, save it.
The falsehoods, the feelings of fault, then the funds.
Learn how to save for your retirement at wesaysaveit.org.
Mom was always organized, but she started forgetting to pay her bills on time.
And she'd buy the same gifts over and over. Telling the girls about my Alzheimer's diagnosis was really hard.
At first we had our cries, but then we were like, okay, let's make a plan.
Early detection gave us time to adapt together.
It's so important for you to think about what you can do and making the most of what you have.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Right here, baby. Look. Uma.
Something more than a birthday is happening here. Once you can see it, you can help. The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to SEC Sports. We're halftime here between the White Bear Lake Bears and the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders. Scoreless on either side, but we have had a litany of scoring opportunities for either side, but neither team has been able to find the back of the net. Take a look at an early one here from White Bear Lake. Able to cut this one inside, but it would be called offside for Gabby Hofield. Another chance here for the Bears, called offside. Bears just a step or two out of sync, and then for the Raiders, they had a good look. Mackey's been solid on the end for the Bears, but Kronschnabel getting a hand up there late. And another chance here for Hofield, going to get called. Hofield would get a yellow at that opportunity there. And take a look at the first half. 2 shots aside, 2 corner kicks, and we have yet had any goal scorers. So we'll stay with a couple of goose eggs on the board. But ladies and gentlemen, this is a final regular season game for either side. And that means the section playoffs are just around the corner. Despite these teams both being in the same conference, they will be playing in different class tournaments. Take a look at the 4 AAA, and these would be if the season were to end today. White Bear Lake would be number 2, and they would have a first round matchup against the Tartan Titans. The Woodbury Royals, who White Bear Lake lost to earlier in the week, or we'll say last week, would get the number 1 seed. East Ridge, 2 Rivers, Stillwater, and St. Paul Central. Most teams have a 3-win trek if they want to make it to the state tournament. And we'll take a look at the 3 AA standings, where Cretin-Derham will play. They got a first round matchup potentially against St. Paul. Highland Park Holy Angels would play St. Paul. Harding, Hill Murray, and Richfield would duke it out. And then South St. Paul and Simley. A lot of schools from the Suburban East and the Metro East conferences here in these 2 sections. I'm curious to see how that Holy Angels and Hill Murray matchup would play out. Holy Angels 14-1-1 on the year so far. And for the Hill Murray Pioneers, they're just 10-2-1. Holy Angels scoring almost 6 goals a game. But tonight, it's about the Raiders and the Bears. We'll throw it to another break, and when we are back, it'll be the start of the second half. Ladies and gentlemen, get some snacks, get some water, and then quickly tune back in, because the action will start soon.
What's more dangerous? A man who isn't afraid of death, or one who's found everything to live for? I asked him if he was proud of me. He emphatically said yes, as he laid his pecan-colored head on my chest, and I went through my mind 1,000 times to figure out what that could possibly mean, and every single example ended in motivation for me. So you may not be afraid to die, but I'm more afraid to let them down. And I found something to live for, which is a dangerous motive forever fueled. See, your thoughts may be involuntary, but my actions are very calculated. I was a man with a plan, but now I'm a dad with a decree, and you can't take that from me. My sons ain't raised by no coward, and they won't be one either. If this be the measure of a man, the yardstick gonna need way more meters. I take it too far, so they never come up short, because I found everything to live for.
When we walk, when we reach, when we play, we're moving through life. But an estimated 80% of Americans aren't getting their recommended daily amount of physical activity. It's time to move and keep moving, America. And when you need help, physical therapists and physical therapist assistants are by your side. Because we are meant to climb, to dance, to soar, to thrive. Choose to move. Choose physical therapy.
Olivia was a free-spirited, very sensitive little girl. She became ill, and then they revealed a mass on her brainstem. She herniated on the brain and died. Immediately, I started thinking about organ donation, and why would we not give back?
My son is 22 months old. Someone's child, basically, would have to pass in order for Kevon to be their match.
Nice to finally be. Oh my gosh, you are so tall.
I can feel your heart beating. Oh my goodness. Thank you. I didn't lose her in vain. This little boy is running, playing because of my little girl, and I'm so grateful for that.
Her daughter is alive through my son, so that's keeping love alive.
The vision of the foundation is that no child dies waiting for an organ.
For more information on pediatric organ donation, go to lanethomas.org.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to SEC Sports here. Currently on the North Campus of White Bear Lake here for girls soccer between the Bears and the Raiders. Currently, I believe, senior night festivities going on. I believe all the seniors are out there at the moment for White Bear Lake as they're putting on a bit of a dance routine. Senior night, always a special occasion for these players that have dedicated their time during their high school careers to these teams to participate and play the sport that they're most passionate about, represent their hometown. And I'm trying to figure out what the shirts say. But I assume it is some sort of thank you message to these seniors. As I am impressed with these routines that these Bears have come up with. You can tell that these players are having fun with it. As these players really have become sisters for life as they've been on these teams throughout the years. And we'll take a quick glance at the Suburban East standings here. White Bear Lake near the top of the table, but we'll say about 1 point behind the Woodbury Royals, and you got the Eastridge Raptors, Stillwater Ponies, the Mounds View Mustangs, and the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders, 3-5 in the conference, 6-8-1 on the year. Raiders is about mid-pack, respectable. They got Roseville, Parker, Cottage Grove, Forest Lake, and Irondale behind them. A very even mid-pack for the Suburban East Conference. The last 10 games, the last 10 meetings between these two schools, or before we get to that, we'll take a look at the Class 3A top 10. The Wayzata Trojans, Edina Hornets, undefeated 15-0. My guess is that both those teams would be in the same section, and that potentially this year's state tournament might run through them. Woodbury second at 10-0-2, Centennial, Stillwater, Blaine, Minnetonka, Egan, White Bear Lake, and Lakeville North tied at number 10. All over the metro here for top 10. Speaking of 10, we'll take a quick look at the last 10 meetings. White Bear Lake owning that department as they're 7-3 in the last 10. Going back to September of 2013, back when I wasn't even in high school, to age myself a little bit. Past couple games have been pretty low scoring affairs, but in 18 and 17, 5-1 and 6-3 victories for White Bear Lake. Cretin getting their last win against White Bear Lake back in 2016, a 4-3 victory And then 15, 14, and 13, Bears and Cretin swapped wins. Both these schools, and we see players head back out onto the pitch as halftime festivities have ended. Take a look at the Section 4 3A standings. Woodbury, White Bear Lake, and Stillwater all top the table. But for Woodbury and White Bear Lake, they've had the most wins, so that would put them at the top. And I take the head-to-head between White Bear and Stillwater was that sectional difference, though their overall season standing is the same at 10-3-2. Eastridge, Tartan, St. Paul Central near the bottom of the table as well. And then in 3-2A, Cretin-Derham Hall Mid-Pack, they're 0-1, have only played one section game, or one game within their section this year. Holy Angels and Hill Murray both undefeated. Highland Park and Cretin-Derham Hall, that would be a solid matchup. As for these Raiders, they have had chances. It's just a matter of being able to tie it all together. And the Raiders start off the second half here. We'll look to see if it'll be more of the same or if one team will break out into the lead. They have 40 minutes to do just that. Will be a throw in from the Bears. Bachmeyer trying to break the one upfield for Smith, not going to find her. Off to the races, Mackey will cover that ball up. Not going to give Cretin any chances. Smith, good cross. Just ahead of Wallach. Now the Raiders look to work the far side of the field. Pass up to Bachmeyer. Get some separation. Bachmeyer trying to get to the right foot. Let one fly. Was Hofield. Well, it didn't reach the net. Dumping this one back in. Swanson gonna roll to the corner. Hang on. Kronschnabel couldn't collect it right away. Had to drop to the turf to collect it. I mentioned near the end of the first half, Cretin-Derham Hall kind of starting to play with fire. Can only do that so much until you're gonna get burned. And with this defensive heavy, with how defensive heavy this matchup has been, one goal might be the backbreaker for either side. I think the Raiders have done a good job so far being able to punch above their weight class. As on paper, White Bear Lake does seem like the better team. But the Raiders looking to flip the script here. Good back check from Cretin, trying to rip the ball away. There's two. Good job here. Pass. Well ahead. A bit of a stare off. right in front of Kronschnabel was Gabby Hofield. Kronschnabel will boot this one down. Raiders just looking for everything to line up before they can really go for a rush. Don't want to try to force anything here, catch themselves out of position. Sliding down Mackey. One's going to chip away. Raiders looking to throw one again. Bears are right there. This one off of Boulis. Raiders get a chance at this one. Still trapped out to the perimeter. That one booted out will be a throw in for Cretin-Derham. This one thrown in from Kokorik. Smith with it. Works the Hofield, back to Smith. Bears got to race up the wing. Pass intended for Olivia Farrell. Was a couple strides behind. Kokorik again. Good distance on it. Couple of headers from the Bears. Raiders still trying to work it forward, trying to go through a couple of Bear players. Not going to work out well. With running room, White Bear. It's a good move, Hofield. Getting this one up. Shot on high back of the net. They score. White Bear Lake finally breaks through, finds the back of the net. Who else but number 28, Jenna Malloy, opens the floodgate for White Bear Lake. Just like that. Malloy all by herself. Takes her time, puts a shot on. And Kronschnabel just not able to get up high enough. And the Bears light the theoretical lamp here early in the second half, just 6 minutes in. Now for the Raiders, you got to push the envelope here.
Suburban dealership in Minnesota.
Raiders trying to do a bit too much with it. Will be handing the throw in. Hand-in's thrown a bit telegraphed. Bears read it. Smith taking her time, just puts the ball in the open space. Raiders are really going to struggle trying to get any offensive attacks going. They just really don't have the numbers back. Chance here, they close, and that's well wide. And now for Autumn Mackey. She'll hand this one off to Marion Peterson. He'll boot this one down. White Lake, they don't do anything too flashy, but they're tenacious. Off to the races again. Malloy with the chance, cuts back in, gets it over. And Kronschnabel will chase this one down. No, still loose. Now Kronschnabel collects. Now Kronschnabel let this one fly. Bears seem to be stalking their prey a little bit more, closing in, trying to double up here. 9 minutes into the second half. Bears successful throw-in. This one will be intercepted by the Raiders at the midfield. Pestered was Hannon. Got her ripped off her boot. Stays in play. Off to the races once more. Wallach taking her time, trying to get someone up to the corner. There's like to be Hofield. Her shot gonna hit the side of the cage. Kronschnabel's kick gonna get picked off by the Bears. So a Raiders substitution. And Quinn Delsing in now for the Raiders. Hofield running this one down in the corner, has a bit of space. Back inside. Hofield again on the near side. She'll get disrupted. Bears swap a player in. It's Katie Kohler. Chance inside for the Bears. Another shot on. Kronschnabel got in front of this one. Diving save. And it will be a corner for the Bears. Got one. Look to make it two. This one will be off the boot of Becca Smith. She's got Hofield right there. Hofield trying to put a low shot on. Smith trying to get space, cuts back in. What a shot from Becca Smith. She buries. And the set corner play works out for White Bear Lake. It's now 2-0. And Kronschnabel zigged, Smith zagged. And it's 2-0 Bears. Bit of a set play here. The defender kicks it out. It's right to Smith. Waits, gets it back on her right foot, lets it fly out, shanked off in front. That might have hit a Raider ankle in front. And for Smith, that's her 10th goal of the year. Combine that with her 15 assists. She's now got 25 points on the year. And when you're only playing 16 games in the regular season, if you're able to put up 25 points, I mean, your team's going to be winning games. So for Becca Smith, only a junior, able to find the net. Her and Jenna Malloy, the opening goal scorer for the Bears, will be back for another season. And next year, the orange and black could be tough to beat, as if they aren't already this year. Hofield passed it on the perimeter. Pass it back. Good move from Bachmeyer. Miscue. Raiders keep it in. Backline of the Bears doing a good job of keeping the Raiders out. Bears just trying to find space. Bachmeyer gets it upfield. Hofield. Stretch pass up to Malloy. That's going to get shut down. Stays in play. Impressed. Bachmeyer getting this one inside to Oakler. Now the Raiders trying to get something going. Hofield with a chance, lets one fly, but a bit too telegraphed. Kron Schnabel going to cover this one up. Ooh, and a Bear player took a tumble, might have gotten tripped up. Be a free kick for the Bears here. Waits. Lets it go. Good distance on it. That's a good header. Kronschnabel scoops it up. 15 minutes into the second half, it's been all White Bear Lake. Off of the goals from Malloy and Smith. I think Bears more than happy at this point to sit back. We'll get a pair of substitutions in for the Raiders. Raiders able to work this one forward, but they're just hounded by Bears from all four sides. Hofield now. Good boot up field. Oakler going to get that one out. And a whistle going to be blown. It'll be a free kick. From just inside the 30. We'll see what the Bears tee up here. You got three players right in front of the ball. Not sure how this one's going to go. They tee one up, let it fly. It's well wide. Not getting a good piece on it. We're the Bears. Now Kronschnabel taking a big windup. Right to a Bear player. Work this forward, trying to cut back inside. Bears work one in, taking a trip. was Bachmeier, finds the back of the net nevertheless. And it's 3-0 Bears in a blink of an eye. Has taken a spill. Was a Bear player, trying to see who that was, number 36, Elizabeth Wallach. Lena Kronschnabel. Checking up on her. 3-0 Bears. See if we can take another look at this one. As there was a Bear player down before the plate. And Bachmeier. There, Bachmeier takes a tumble. And then just a chip in for Hofield outside the box as Wallach and Kronschnabel collided head on.
Scoring for your Bears, number 5, Gabby Hofield.
And for Gabby Hofield, that's her 4th of the year. Not going to get it easier than that. As with just over 20 minutes to play, White Bear Lake now leads by 3 off the boot of Gabby Hofield. Be a free kick now here for Cretin-Derham. Cave lets it fly. Bears cycle this one back on the far side. Once again, Bears happy to go backwards before they go forwards. Bears said they do a good job of stretching the pitch. That one will roll out. Will be Bachmeier to throw in. Sending it down, Paige Swanson. That one will roll out, will be a throw in for Cretin-Derham. Cretin just trying to find any openings seem to really cut through an attack. But the Bears shut it down as soon as it opens up. Bear just let another one fly. This is a good chance. Mackey couldn't collect it. Trickles out behind the net. And will be a goal kick. Peterson gonna boot this one. Bears, good pressure from Elise Oakler. Another chance here. Raiders got to get physical. Player takes a tumble, still in play. On the far side, Bears. A cough up possession. Raiders happy to boot it downfield. Will roll out. So your changes coming for the Bears. Nevaeh McCorkle back on the pitch. for White Bear Lake. Raiders throwing once more. And we'll get just to the hash marks. They're really struggling to get anything going. Deflection up front. Raiders on the baseline, letting the shot fly gonna go wide. This one off the foot of Claire Lyons. Just hooked it right. Just take a look at the follow-up attempt there. Lyons immediately looks to the stars as she knew what could have been. Might have nightmares about that one tonight. We'll never know. Back to the action at hand. Raiders will throw in into a plethora of bodies. Gonna get sent out. Bears can't clear. Raiders let one fly. This one caught by Automaki. Not fazed by this one. The senior goaltender doing a phenomenal job so far tonight. Mackey will collect once more. Will bounce out of play. Raiders cross attempt. That'll roll out on the far side. It'll be a Bears chance to throw in. Pace of play in the past 10 minutes or so really has slowed down as the Bears opened up a lead. And then buried a couple more. And at this point, Bears happy to just play keep away. They don't need to force the issue anymore to try to tack on anymore unless they look to really feel like they want to break some school records or something. There's really no need. They average is about 3.73 goals per game. Earlier in the year, they beat Hill Murray 6-1. Roseville 7-1. They beat Irondale 11-0 earlier in the year to really boost those numbers. As more changes come in for the Bears, more substitutions in the final 15 minutes of play here. Raiders are able to hold at the midfield. Pass ahead, off to the races in the corner. Bears kick it out to the side. And the Raiders going to have to restart. Not a lot of momentum. More changes come in. Thrown in now. Grace Handrick for the Raiders. Good boot from the Raiders, trying to find who that was. Just came out onto the field. Number 20. Lauren Bankston Raider player taken down. Look at a free kick here just inside the 25. We'll see what the Raiders can do here. Or just let one fly on net, well off the mark. And what one could have thought could have been a solid opportunity for the Raiders just was not meant to be. And with just about 13 minutes left, Raiders have to go back to the drawing board. They want to dissect this Bears defense. Raiders, another free kick. This one gonna stay outside the box. Raiders look to collect. Bounce it high, trickles outside. Mackey gonna run this one down. Again, not taking any chances. And now White Bear Lake will have a chance to throw in. Raiders, good pick off. Chance to go the other way. Raiders wait for numbers to allow the Bears to get back on the fence. And for White Bear Lake, who allows less than a goal per game, it's hard to break through. As the most they've given up all year is 3. They had a 4-3 win against Stillwater earlier this week. Then early in the season, they tied the Egan Wildcats 3 apiece. Cretin still looking to get things going. Thompson happy to work this one upfield. McCorkle up to Kupit. Kupit, a bit of space, trying to open up some more. Inside, Thompson trying to get this one back to Kupit, trying to race this one down. Will be a goal kick for Kronschnabel. Final 10 minutes to play here. Raiders stretch pass, not going to reach its intended target. Raiders really trying to force the issue. It's not going to go where they wanted it to. This will be another throw-in for Jane Stangler, excuse me. Bears toss this one in. Hamlin had for a moment. Raiders work this one back. It seems about 9 times out of 10 when the Raiders try to work the ball forward in the lead stretch pass, goes straight to a Bear. Now the Raiders have to go the full length of the field here. Novak was way back. Will be throwing for White Bear. This one to Oakler. Pass back intended for Morano, going to chip out offer. See Bella Halderman coming for Cretin-Derham. Oakler doing a good job, gets it through 2 Raiders. Couldn't get through the 3rd before the whistle is blown. Clock continues to roll here, just over 7 minutes remain. Bears will free kick this one from their own 45. Keep working this one forward. Bears down to the corner, not a lot of room. That might end up in a throw-in for White Bear just by the corner. Throw this one in, 1 bounce, 2. Raiders gonna step in before Bears can put a shot on. Bears closing in more. Schnabel gonna let that one roll to the side and out. Bears will take a throw in. Will be Morano. And will be a free kick for the Raiders just outside their own box. Rolls its way up to midfield. The Raiders looking to get something going here late. In the final 5.5. White Bear Lake has their own ideas. Try to weave their way through the Raider unit. Players have to track this one down. Bears again happy to get to their back line. For working this one, gonna stay in. Hamlin pressured off the ball. 2 Raider players there before they can kick it out. Thompson to throw in. And we'll get back to Thompson off a Raider body. Four minutes now for the Raiders to get on the board. Natalie Rowe booting this one down. for White Bear. Oh, what would we do without people to chase down the ball? You're in this very wide open facility here at the track going around the pitch. Then here on the near side looks to be actually the pole vault, maybe triple jump area. Shot on this one, knocked down by Kronschnabel. Able to get 2 hands on that one. Looking to keep the score line at 3-0 and no more. Raiders at midfield, still trying to jab their way through. But the Bears passing just immaculate this evening. Able to cut around Raider defenders. Kronschnabel able to collect another 2.5 remain. She'll boot this one down. Just about a formality at this point. Just about 2 minutes left. Raiders down by 3. Bears in full control throughout this second half. Trying to work this one inside, back outside to Thompson, letting one fly across just over the head of Tegan Coopit. Final 75 seconds here in the match. Bears passing has been immaculate. They were shut out in the first half. Able to put 3 on. Almost made it 4.
1 minute remaining in the half. 1 minute.
As Alyssa Hamlin probably had the eyes the size of dinner plates as that ball was just about point blank on the goal line. Just couldn't put it inside the post. Hold on, another chance scooping this one up, Kronschnabel. Raiders, one final look. Get this one back inside, let one fly, they find the back net on the board. White Bear Lake can't hold the shutout. And for the Raiders, they get one to go finally with 16 seconds left. And it was just a chip from about the 20-yard line. Caught Autumn Mackey creeping a bit forward. And as the final countdown begins, the sand in the hourglass begins to run out, and the White Bear Lake Bears win their regular season finale against the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders 3-1. In a dominant second half showing. The Bears kept trucking along, kept knocking on the door. With a 3-goal effort in the second half. Goals from Jenna Malloy, Becca Smith, and Gabby Hofield. was enough to put the game away here at the end. And next up for White Bear Lake and Cretin-Derham Hall, it is playoff time. Going into the section playoffs, White Bear Lake moves to 11-3-2 on the year, and Cretin-Derham Hall will fall to 6-9-1. Phenomenal showing from either side. White Bear Lake going into the postseason with a head of steam, winning 9 out of their last 10. And for Cretin-Derham Hall, you go into the postseason on a loss, not how you wanted to end your regular season. But sometimes a little bit more pressure is what helps team thrive in the pressure cooker. As for myself, Earnhardt, Michael Jaworski, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to SEC Sports. Quick shout out to everyone in the production truck, the camera guys here. Did a phenomenal job all evening long being able to bring you this broadcast here from White Bear Lake High School. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Earnhardt, Michael Jaworski signing off. We'll catch you in the next one.